Will, that's right, will deceive. Is the sieve or deceive? Okay, but will deceives, right. And I think I may even give him credit for it. No, I know what I did. Oh, you love this. Absolutely. I didn't even bother doing stealing from him. I went and Xeroxed it right from the damn book itself. There you go. I got the time. I like that. Okay? Sue me. He's passed away, hasn't he? Good. It's the quarter crimp. And I incidentally, just a tip on this, every deck that I have has the quarter crimp in it, and always on the jack of clubs. Why? Because I decided a long time ago that was the card I was going to put it in. So I don't have to fish all the time, did I make a mistake? Because you can always take a peek. I'm so sure of it now I don't bother peeking anymore. But always my jack of clubs. And why is this so darn good? My God, you take the deck, you spread the cards out, have them select the card, you say, just tell me to stop, they drop in, you throw it back on, you give a card a cut, and you're right back to where you started from again, okay? I got the jack on the bottom, I got the card on top, okay. And it's a very, very simple crimp. It's called a quarter crimp. And what you do is you take a quarter, not these foldy ones, and just place it, and you'll find out that any of the major car companies always have a circle design in their backs, except for B-back, but mostly tally hose, a bicycle, they always have a circle in the back. And if you put it over and do it with a picture card, it makes it almost impossible. Yeah, if I take in the light and I go like this, I can make it out. But what makes it so nice is when you put it back in the deck, it's crimped in the center. So there are no telltale spaces on the side of the deck. I mean, the deck looks like it's closed. Why? Because the crimp is in the center. All right? So all you do is you put the quarter here and just bend up around the card, the quarter, the card. And that's all there is. I'll pass this around if any people have ever seen it, and you can just see the quarter that's imprinted on it. That is put into the deck. The rest is just self-working. I don't know why I never thought of it. Why never? Because I don't think of anything. I always used to take the fives and put them on, and have them put them on the deck, and then find them. Zip had a better way. He's not going to be here. See this? He got sick. Yeah. What he would do, he would put the 4 aces on top of the deck, and he'd have the crimp card in the bottom. And he would say, "Did you ever cut cards for money?" Fine. So cut the cards. So the guy would cut the cards, take out a card, and then he would complete the cut, and he'd put the thing right back top of Zip with 4 aces. And Zip would cut, and take the 1 ace, and he'd cut back. Now the other cards on the bottom, 3 aces on the top. The guy can't cut to anything but low cards, or lower than the aces, and Zip's always cutting to the aces. So he did it in reverse of what I did. But it is very, very good using that crimp. And there's a lot of things that you can use, a lot of effects that you can use for it, besides using as a card control. Oh, sure. Okay. That may interest you, Frank. I don't know if you're aware of that one.
No, I know.
Oh, you're aware? Okay. Yeah.
You got it for me.
Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, I mentioned this about, I can outrun him, so I'm not worried about it. Frank has one little bit on the Chicago opener that is great. And it's this. Whenever you're doing Chicago opener, and if you don't do it, it is a blockbuster. I don't do it on a table anymore, mainly because I really don't work on a table. Besides that, I find it much more astounding if, when you reveal their card, you throw it on the floor. Now the card is down on the floor, you have them select another card, and it turns out to be the one on the floor. It really blows you away. But there's one little part in that effect, which is that when you get this card there on the top, I think what distracts from that trick immensely is if you fumble around for that double. Does anybody know what the Chicago opener is? No. Oh, okay. May I?
Sure, well,
Wouldn't make any difference anyway, I'm going to do it. Okay. I think that's one of the first tricks that you probably open with. It's that strong. What you do is you take odd back card, you place it on the bottom, and you place its duplicate underneath it. So the odd back goes in the bottom, duplicate goes here. Okay? And you explain. Would you please, first of all, take out a card, sir? Any card you like? Thank you. Right. Look at it. And you say, would you do me a favor? Would you just put it back in the deck anytime you want? Just say stop. Okay? You drop the cards back. Now, I'm going to tell you something most people don't know. and that is that all cards are marked. Every deck you buy nowadays is marked. Now, maybe letting the cat out of the bag, but it's true. Yeah, they mark them here right on the face of the cards. Look, they mark this the 6 of clubs, Jack of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 2 of spades, 9 of hearts, 4, and mark them all this way. And if you people that are not that up on cards, they do this for one simple reason. That's so you can play cards, okay? Now, the only unfortunate part about this, that these cards are also marked on the back. And sir, your card has a little mark on it. And if you look in the upper hand corner, every one of these are Frank's lines. Look in the upper hand corner, you can just barely make your mark out. Now, here is the tough part about this trick, and that is you have to do an immediate double. And you can't do it a Harry where you're doing this, okay? This card has to be taken off and turned over if you're really going to sell this trick. And I, for years, practiced the strike, so I feel very comfortable with that. And I would say that I can hit it 95% of the time. But still at 5%, you're a little leery about it. Sometimes you hit down and say, I got 3 instead of 2. But Frank has a nice little line there, and it's a funny line, and I'm going to give it to you whether he likes it or not. And Frank says, now, and he comes back down, and he's saying, I said, your cards are just up right here. Can you see the mark on the card? You can? Now look, in a minute, and here's where he's going to get the break. But he has a little story, which is not only is it funny, this really distracts from this, getting this little break here. And he says, you know, you see the mark up here? Yeah, yeah. Now, look, in a few minutes, I'm going to show you this card. Now, if it is your card, I don't want you to say, yes, it's my card, and no, it's my card. If it is your card, you go like this. If it's not your card, you go like this. In other words, this means yes, that means no. It's not too difficult, is it? Okay? Cute little line, made something funny, you get the break. And then, of course, all he does, he turns over the card, and that's your card, isn't it, sir? You throw the card down. You then say, would you reach in, please, and take out another card, sir, today while we're both young. That's it. Okay, and what you do is you force the 7 of hearts that you have down here. You tell him, would you put it back into the deck? You spread the cards out. You say, sir, do you see any odd back card there? And he says, no. You say, what was your card? He said, 7 of hearts. He said, of course. I wouldn't kid you in the world. And there it is, over there. So that is the Chicago opener. But the big thing on it was, and it may not sound like much, but is that bit of, is this your card? Don't tell me yes or no. If it is, go like this. If it's not, go like this. In other words, this means yes, that means no. It's not too difficult. It is a certain, it's a cute little line, and you get your break, and you're ready to do an instantaneous double break on it. Okay? Thank you, Frank. Okay. Yeah, if you don't have them, please, because, all right. Somebody asked me if I would show them card to the wallet. This was shown to me by Darwin Ortiz. His name is not pronounced Ortez, it's Ortiz. Darwin Ortiz. And if you've never seen Darwin work, he's one of the finest card men in the world today. Now, when Darwin showed this, now let me just, Darwin showed it to me, so I have nothing to brag about, hey, look how well I do this and so forth, because it's so simple, it's unreal. But at the same time, he cleared up a lot of the problems you have with when you're loading the card in the pocket. Originally, it was loaded in the hand and come over the and down in it, and you actually left your hand there so much people started to think you were perverted. So he came up with another way of doing it. Now let me tell you how strong this really is and how quick this happens. It's a true story. I'm down at doing Mullica's convention, and if you've never had Tommy Mullica work for you, forget it. I mean, he's so intimidating, it's unreal. Thank God he left the United States. And he had invited a group of us down, and I think after the 3rd day, he makes us get up and perform in front of the crowd. And I'm the first person to go on that night. It's the only time in my life my knees are shaking, my mouth is dry. Jay Marshall is emceeing, we're behind the bar, and I said, I can't believe it. How am I going to do anything? I don't know what to do. So the only thing I think, I'll do card to the wallet. Betty Haynes is sitting there, I do card to the wallet, and I'm saying, oh dear God. First of all, I'm praying to God, please let a lightning bolt hit this place, please destroy everything, kill me. I don't want to go on, not to see Mullica work. And, but I had to go out, and then I said, okay, since you didn't do that, do me one favor. Please let me hit the wallet tonight, please. I have to say, he listened, because I did the best, and I froze for a second. My God, it's in, I can't believe it. And when I got finished the next day, Mullica said, you know, pretty cheap, you're using Betty as a stooge. And I said, I did. He couldn't have done it. He says, we got it on tape. And here's the nice thing. He said, Kenny Prinzell and Howie Schwartz were looking to tape with him. He said, right, could not have loaded the card. That says an awful lot for this card load. And as I said, it's not mine, it's Ortiz. And I use the Ken Brooks wallet. You don't have one. It's I think it's the best wallet made out. He has this. I guess it's made out of plastic. This little guy here, and I found out you can leave it just like this because when it opens up, it looks like it's part of the wallet. So I never worry. Most inside jackets are not this bright anyway, so you really don't have to worry about it. But it's a very, very simple load. You do the palm off the top. You do any palm you want. I use the one-handed palm. Okay. I'll have a person sign a card and then do a call, bring it to the top, and I use a one-handed palm. Just come up with. Jacket opens up, and you reach. You take out. It's loaded. Okay. And it's that fast. And it's all you're ostensibly doing is reaching into the pocket, taking out your wallet. There's no fumbling or anything. Okay, this is pulled out. Now before it was held like this. Yeah, sure. Let me swing over here. Before when it was done, or it was in the notes, it was the guide was on the back. So your hand come up over the top and it had to try to hit that guide in the back. My God, you could hit the pocket on the inside. There's so many different things you could hit. It was impossible. And I gave up on the effect. And so, but Ortiz says, put it in the front, like this. Now, when you're first starting, you'll hear clicks, 2 clicks. Palm, you have your palm here, excuse me, hold here. This goes in this position, card. And as you come up, you hear 2 clicks. You hear the click of the jacket, and then you hear the click here. So it's click, click, and then down. And it's that fast. So if you have a dark enough jacket, you can open it this way and do it. You're sitting down, so I know my angle is bad as I'm going up. But if you're standing up, you'll not see the card go in. Your hand just comes up and it goes like that. That's it. And here, yeah. Sure. Okay. Palm here. See the little part here? So you just come up. It's done.
Slow motion.
All right. Okay. The guide is in the front. That's all it is. Okay. Now, your hand just comes up, hits, just pushes it down with 2 clicks. That's it. Your hand comes out. So you go boom, boom, out. So what they're seeing is this. That's all it is. Believe me, it is that fast, and it takes a little practice. No, the loading doesn't take any practice. It's going to take your practice just palming up a card. The load is just so darn simple. Just comes up and just jams in. Listen for the clicks the first 2 times. After a while, you get used to it. You know just where it is, and just come in, bam, hit the pocket with it.
Show us the one-handed palm.
Yeah. Where is that in? It's.
Squat manipulation.
Is that okay? Yeah. Your hand, I found out this, okay? For me anyway, and I don't care if there are people here who can do it straight on and not move these fingers. It doesn't make a bit of difference because you're gesturing anyway. When I tell them to, my favorite one, sir, would you please stand up here? Okay, my favorite one is, sir, would you point to any card you like in the deck? Jack of Hearts. Now, you notice the Jack of Hearts is in the center of the deck. There are no cuts, no crimps, breaks, trapdoors, wires, mirrors, rods, bolts, screws, and clips, pens, front bands, scotch tape, safety pins, or conceal system. I'm going to give you a deck of cards. I want you to shuffle them up. But I tell you this, if you get shit of shuffling your deck of cards, I'm instantaneously going to find your cards. Time's impossible. I say yes. Give the cards a shuffle. Okay? It's done. Okay, great. Okay, now, just sit down a second. The point, I'm not getting to the top. The point is, you're talking, you're gesturing, and I don't do it. I do it as I start to hand the cards though. Your hand comes here, it palms it off. It is another little thing too. You have to either, Dingle does it this way. He bends the fingers in, all right, which adds a nice bit to it because it doesn't look like a card. So he hands you the cards this way, okay? Instead of palming the card off like this and holding it like this. or coming over to the edge. This little bending of the finger makes it very, very interesting. Okay, it makes it look very, very good because it doesn't look like you have a card pond here. Okay, so the only thing I can tell you though is that I have to take these three fingers have to revolve just a little bit as this finger stays straight, and as these revolve just a little bit, that will tip that corner up. Okay, it takes a lot of practice. It does take. Sit in front of your TV set hour after hour, just practice till it comes, and then it just instantaneously it'll just pop out. Okay. That's one way of loading. There's another way of two. I don't know if you're familiar with this. Put the card back in the deck. Do you know how to mix cards up? Okay, that's another one. You know, the regular 10 card out of the deck. All right. So Dingle does it straight on. He takes the card, pushes it in, comes forward, and hands you the card. And this is it here. I prefer coming here and doing the straightening up. In other words, straightening up the cards, so to speak. So ostensibly you put the card in, square it up, and you square the deck up. But what you're doing is you're kicking the card over. Hand comes down to square this portion, comes back up, this squares this, and I hand it right to the person. There's nothing for you to see, is there?
No.
No. I mean, you're completely covered. And they reach in, take the card. They take it right out, and you're, okay? So that's another way. But I prefer in the center and bring it to the top, okay? Am I going too fast? Another thing working with Higher the Rain. Pat, pat, pat. Am I too fast? No, okay. All right. Another little interesting thing I might talk to you about. Cigarette through the quarter. I think a lot of people are afraid of it because they have to handle 2 coins. And I'll tell you the truth. I watched Derek do it for, I guess, about 5 years. And I never wanted to handle it. Why? Because I don't like to do tricks that only work 95% of the time. And you get caught. I hate being caught, even though it's only that 1 or 5 or 2 or 3% of the time. And and as well as he hit it, when you're doing cigarette through the quarter, and you've done it once, you've done it twice, by that time you've got people on the floor looking up here that they're all over top of you. And it's very difficult to work doing that, and even does it as well, he gets picked off. And then I happened to catch, the chop cup routine. Who the chop cup guy? Don Allen. Don Allen came up with this. Oh my God, he solved the whole problem. And let me just show it to you. You don't have to use this. You can use the pencil like Michael Moore does. Mike uses my switch. I think he's ridiculous because I don't know. Harry talked me into one. I don't know how he came up with it. I probably stole it from somebody in my sleep. And I think it's a takeoff from somebody else. Mike does it like, and I find it's not really necessary when you're doing cigarettes through the quarter. Does anybody have a cigarette? It's very difficult nowadays to find somebody who has a cigarette. But Carrie, oh, I got it. Thank you, Gary. 1. These Canadians, wow. Look at that. Okay. And this is, I think, is very, very clever. You borrow a cigarette, okay, and this gentleman will have the quarter, this gentleman will have the cigarette. The cigarette is always picked up first, okay? It's acting more than anything else. The cigarette is picked up, and I usually prefer working with a young lady because of Derek's lines. And we'll just assume, sir, that you're a pretty young lady. I then reach for the quarter, and I say, may I have the quarter, please? And would you hold your hand out, and I put in the gimmick quarter, and I need matches, and this goes south. I do not have any coin in my hand but the gimmick quarter. Now, I laid that in their hand. Now, the question is, are they ever going to turn that coin over? I do that effect at least 50 times a week. At least 50 times a week. I have never, I repeat, I have never had anybody ever turn that coin over. You ask to repeat it, they still don't turn that coin over. Now, I have one little thing that I do with it. I do take the cigarette, and I do place it over the top of the coin, so that in case they ever did want to examine the coin, so they have to take the cigarette off, and I reach for the coin. I've always cautioned myself, but now they just don't. I'm so brave, I can walk over here. Can I borrow the matches? I know they're not going to turn the coin over. and the steel and the change is, let me show you how lazy I've gotten. I used to keep the gimmick coin between these two fingers. And then I would borrow the coin from a person here, go into a palm here, and place this one in. Okay? So you had to use a palm. You had to be able to palm a coin. Not necessary. All you do is you reach over, you take this coin, you hold it with these two fingers, you put this other one in, it just stays in your hand, that's all. Here's the coin, I put the cigarette on top, I need a match. Oh yeah, there's the match. I'm done. I have no gimmick. I mean, I don't have no gimmick there. I don't have any other coin in my hand. How do you get away with it? When you do all the patter at the end, you turn to the person. I've done it through 3 or 4 times. Usually with the young lady, it doesn't make a difference. It works with a gentleman too. But you, Dingle's line of, say, miss, this, you got finished, you pull out about 3 or 4 times. I want to tell you this. This is not an ordinary coin now. This is a magic coin. It performs magic. So you take this coin, you go home tonight, and you put this under your pillow. And if you're good, and only if you're good, Good Fairy's going to visit you. I'll be there at 10. And don't lock the door, because I'm no Houdini. Okay? Great lines. You do it with a guy, you just have to act a little more, you know. Okay? And then, here's what you do. Here's the gimmick coin. And you're going to give it to you. You say, oh, but before I do, can I ask you one question? Did you really think there was a coin which allowed a cigarette to pass through? And the person says no. And you says, you're right for the first time. There is no such coin. Now let me tell you why that is so good. I always wear the dark shade because I'm too lazy to put my contacts on. And whenever I watched Derek do it, even if he didn't get caught, I would see the person in the back going, I wonder if it's the same coin. Now, when I tried this with Don on this, let me try it that way. I look with the dark glasses. There's nothing. I've asked lots of people, why are they suspecting another coin? He said, because you've done a different trick at the end. I've talked to a couple of people, and this is some of the explanation. They said, and now you've vanished the coin, it's a different trick. And they just assume it's a regular coin. I don't know what the answer is. I don't get that question of, gee, was it a gimmick coin? At the end, I just vanished the coin. I use this, and I don't know where I get this up. That's the only time I use it because I don't like to move. You just reach here, and this pivots around, and it goes into palm, get the cigarette, go like that, and it's gone. There is no such coin. And I find it very, very strong thing. One of the strongest I get asked for to do. Yeah.
Did you follow the quarter?
Yes.
Did you follow the quarter?
I always, oh yeah, but I never give the quarter back. Never.
That's the secret of success.
Never get, no, I'll tell you what. Watch what happens when somebody says, what about my quarter? Somebody says, you ain't worth a quarter, you cheapo, shut up. The crowd takes care of it. Let me tell you, you want a great one, and I don't, you want to, yes, I do, I didn't realize this, I'll give this away. Does anybody have a cigarette lighter? You really need a cigarette lighter. Does anybody have a cigarette lighter? Gary, do you have a cigarette lighter? Yes, you will.
Is it worth the cigarette lighter?
Yeah, this is great. This is a great. It's a great little opening. It's a great little opening. Say, oh, before I start, can I borrow a dollar bill from somebody here, please? Does anybody have a dollar bill I can borrow? I need to borrow because you'll see why in a second. I've been asked to make a public service announcement. Very, very, very good. Yes. You see, when I came up here today, and I just got off the thruway, I was stopped by the police chief there, and he saw that my license plate says Conjuring the car. He says, are you going up to Bellagio with all the great magicians? I said, yes, I am. He said, would you tell them to be careful up there? Because there's an influx of counterfeit dollar bills in the area. I said, you're kidding? He says, no, this is truthfully. An influx of counterfeit dollar bills. So when you're up there, could you warn them to be careful when they exchange money? I said, gee, not only that, I'll show them how to tell the difference between a real dollar bill and a counterfeit one.